ending this! This is the end.
Alright everyone, JB here. We're back with another Dragon Ball Z review on the channel today. Now today, gonna be talking about the anniversary itself. Particularly the first part of the anniversary. I've seen this has been a thing that everyone's been talking about. I am a bit late. But better late than never, like I always like to say. So before we get into all of that, if you're new around here, just still leave a like on the video and join the channel. It is very much appreciated. And if you just enjoyed the video, drop a like down below or a comment. I would love to I love to read you guys' top comments and all that stuff. Because some of you do put some pretty interesting ideas and opinions out there. So we're gonna talk about this part one, particularly it possibly being an ultra character to come for part one. Now this has been a talked about thing, but the evidence is kind of there. It's a really good chance of us seeing that. Now mind you, the reason why I'm saying that, because if you look at the campaign currently that we have going on, which is the Dragon Ball campaign, they mentioned it both that on the 7th is when the campaign is going to end. And then they also mentioned that we're going to get one more LF character besides LF DKP before the end of the campaign. You see the week that we're in, so obviously next week is going to be when that character comes. More than likely it'll probably be like a Goku, I don't know, maybe like a Yamcha, something interesting, right? But we know that for a fact, right? Now when we look at the anniversary date from, like, let's say last year's anniversary date, I mentioned it before. Sorry about that, guys. It was on the 25th. So 25th. So we can expect it to be around that time, right? Between maybe the 22nd to the 25th. In between those couple days, so what does that mean, right? Well, that means that once this campaign ends, we're not going to see any buffs until that, that point in time in that month, the later half of the month. And we look at the characters that we got so far in form of just ultra characters. We've only got one this entire year. This entire year there's only been one. Before that it was Beast Gohan for the end of the festival. Cell's the only ultra, still a really good unit, still a really good, he's still in the meta, he's out there, so I feel like because last year we got 2 ultra characters, I believe. Before the anniversary started, we had a Gohan and it was, I believe, Frieza. So we switch over to the next page, but it was Gohan and Ultra Golden Frieza. And then before the anniversary started, we got it was like a Dragon Ball campaign. So it's interesting because I think that's when we got the Piccolo Jr. and the Goku. So I don't know if they have it on here, but you guys know which ones I'm talking about, the ones that just recently got their plat equipped. Now when we look at this, right, we haven't had an ultra. It's been what, 4 months into the year. We're gonna have one. We haven't gotten another one just yet. So it's next month is coming around that time when we're typically getting an ultra, because they only release ultras every so and now, every couple months out the year. So it's a really good chance. It's a really good opportunity, and I think it's it's the best time to do it, because don't know if they have it. I don't think the newsletter is up here, but like we did with when we went over the newsletter that they put out, if I can find it, they mentioned that they were doing changes, besides the ones that they mentioned. So yeah, I can't find it, but besides the ones that they mentioned, they talked about it. They was like, hey, we're gonna change this, we're trying to make the game easier. But besides that, they also mentioned about the characters as well. They've been changing how the characters are easier to read their kits, and just the way that they're putting out the abilities for those characters. So when you look at that, this will be another one of those changes. We've never had an ultra for part 1. It's always been the part 3, and then we expect the LF characters to be for part 1 and 2. And I really feel like this is their time. You want to start off the anniversary with a banger, this would be the one thing to do. Now I mentioned this as my characters that I wanted, when I did my prediction video. As the characters I would love to see him, his chances are really high. With Universe Rep needing some buffs now. Same thing for this guy, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We did just recently get one, but his chances are just up there as well, because it's Goku, right? Bardock is another one I would love to see. from the time when he first transformed. I know this might be a surprise to a lot of people. It might not be, hype enough, but I feel like it will be. We've only got what, 2 LF versions of Bardock. One of them being a standalone Bardock, which who wasn't really all that great when he got his Zenkai. They kind of fumbled that, especially when he got his Plat Equip as well. That's just something that they cannot fumble if they release this guy sometime this year or even for the anniversary. Now, I'm loving this, right? Because with all these changes that they're mentioning that we could possibly see, so if you look right here, like I said, I don't know why I keep clicking through these things, but you guys get it. So we know this is ending on the 7th, like I mentioned. One more LF character is coming, so this is all the more reason to save those crystals, because not only is they're basically giving it away, So, and then when you look at the different summons that we're currently having, they just brought back Beast, so they want you to summon because there's something big coming up. So I couldn't find a newsletter for you guys. It's somewhere probably in the news, but they mentioned that this year was going to be a lot of big changes. And besides the little stuff that they mentioned already with the soul boost system, and just changing how the character formats and how they want to perceive character abilities, this is going to be a big change, if they're going to put part 1 as an ultra. Because could you imagine how the meta would look? Ultra part 1, insanely busted. Like, come on now, like, this gives us a lot of leeway to what could possibly be part 2, and part 3. But yeah, just a pretty quick video on what I think personally. I do think that we're gonna 100% see an ultra part 1, just given off the facts of everything. We haven't had any ultras released in the last couple months, and then they're announcing the date and all that stuff for when this campaign is about to end. They've never done that before. We kind of had to guess around what time it was going to end or what we're going to see possibly next if they're going to release another character, right, in that said campaign. So we kind of had to guess up until this point, but this year they've been doing pretty well for everything that they've been putting out. So honestly speaking, I would love to see it. You got my top 3 picks right here. It's got to be one of these guys, and whoever else, and if they release somebody else outside of these guys as an ultra for this anniversary, I'll be surprised. There are other options out there, but I would 100% be surprised. So yeah, with that being said though, let me know personally down below, who would you like to see come as the ultra, or do you believe that part 1 could possibly be ultra, or maybe just the typical you get an LF for part 1 and 2 and then the ultra comes for part 3. Honestly speaking, the facts are there. There's some other things I want to mention, but I just didn't want to make this video too long of me just yapping, because I've already been doing enough of that. But I do apologize for not uploading a video. It's been about a week. Like I said, the only way I can make up for that for you guys is just to put out videos. Just put them out there. That's my only way to say that I'm sorry for not uploading. But yeah, we're gonna look out for this video and another video later on today. But with that being said, I hope everyone has a blessed day. As always, it's your boy JB. I'm out.